So when we look at enhanced Europe-Africa digital collaboration, we have to start looking at some of the things that are already defining the relationship between Europe and Africa. Already, Europe and Africa has ongoing collaborations. These are at a continental level or also at a national level. So there's a lot of bilaterals that are already defining this space. Secondly, in the last decade, we've seen a lot of the relationships start building on the technology aspect, because tech is now one of the key things that Africa has highlighted as a key agenda for socioeconomic development. So on this collaboration, we have to start looking then at the relationship, and secondly, at other issues that are affecting the African continent. The first thing that I propose in this discussion is, even as we enhance the collaboration, is looking at the opportunity that is presented by the youth bulge. Africa is a very young continent, and it continues to have a larger young population who are redefining the civic space, how they engage with technology, and also how they are surfacing innovation and entrepreneurship within the space. Secondly, Africa is also a continent that is yet to be totally connected. We have a 40% digital divide. That means about 40% of people in the African continent use internet. I think it's an imperative that to ensure that we move this, or we have initiatives or collaborations that are based on how do we create this space. There's a lot of European technology, a lot of European innovations that have been able to move Europe to a 100% connectivity rate. So I think it's imperative to look at that. Thirdly, as we continue to enhance this collaboration, how do you grow the EU-Africa digital market? The opportunities of ensuring once we're connected and when we have the innovation space and we have the young people, how do you ensure that the products in the digital space are not just being utilized in one continent, but we are expanding the borders beyond Africa into Europe? Currently, we see a lot of European products within the African continent, but the question is, how can we enhance this into the African continent? For example, M-Pesa, which is known as one of the innovations within the African continent, is it possible to have this innovation also within the European continent? Can you send money through M-Pesa on a mobile phone within the EU? So some of these considerations need to be made. So what that means is that when EU is making these collaborations or is enhancing the partnership, there needs to be more co-creation, more dialogue with the African continent to know what are those nuances, what are the key things that can really shape Africa in itself, which lead to Africa growing its digital economy space. And that again is to ensure that young people, their talent is being tapped into it. They have a lot of innovations. There are a lot of innovation hubs that are coming. And of course, how do you ensure connectivity is happening? And the good thing is the African Union already did develop the African Union Digital Transformation Strategy, and they do define this as one of the key areas that can help grow Africa's economic development. So we have to look retrospectively at how the partnership is and some of the key areas that I've highlighted that could be useful in growing the partnership.